Alright, third time's the charm. Let's see if we can get it set up this time. I got a new phone and it won't let me turn the screen sideways the way it was my last class. Got a couple of things I'm going to post in the comments here really quickly. One of them, of course, is a disclaimer. Make sure you know I'm not a medical doctor. I am trained as a classical naturopath. And one of the big differences between the state licensed naturopath, especially here in Oregon, and a traditional naturopath is that a traditional naturopath is going to use herbs and supplements exclusively. So they're not going to prescribe drugs. They usually don't recommend minor surgeries either. Alright, just gonna post two more things here. We are debuting our online only consulting, so right now it's actually 50% off the prices that you see on the website there at wheretostartnaturalhealth.com. Okay, that should be everything. Something else interesting that I thought I would mention is that as long as I'm living in Oregon, I am not going to be a state licensed naturopath. I was looking at some board certifications and other trainings for naturopaths, and I was on the American Naturopathic Medical Association is one of the big ones that accredits schools and recommends schools for naturopaths. I was on their website, and they actually have a warning in big, bold letters that says if you're considering a residential naturopathic program, do not consider going to the National College of Natural Medicine in Portland, Oregon, which that's the college I would need to go to in order to be an Oregon state licensed naturopath. So I will be pursuing other certifications. I have several. You can see them on my wall behind me. I'm a certified nutritional consultant, certified health specialist, and a fitness nutrition specialist. So today we're going to break down some ingredients in a favorite herbal blend of mine. It's really good for this time of year. We don't know how much longer the flu season is going to last, but some places that I researched that it can last as long as May. So we've still got quite a few months in which we need to keep our immune system healthy. So, and then just as a reminder, I do exclusively use Nature Sunshine supplements, and I recommend them to my clients. One example of why it's so important what brand you use and the quality of them was I had a friend that shared with me she had finished a naturopathic doctor schooling. She is a licensed naturopath in the state of New Mexico, and she had finished herbal school and was really frustrated by the results she was getting from herbs. Now, granted, she was just going to a regular big box store, a mass merchandiser, and just buying whatever brand they carried. And she's like, I went to school for this. I know that these things should work. They should be more potent. And so when she discovered Nature Sunshine and she switched the brand that she was using, it was just a night and day difference in the results that she was getting from herbs. So you really need to pay attention to the quality of brands. So a lot of people that, I can just ask them, where'd you get your supplements from? And if it was a mass merchandiser, most of the time, I do ask what brand they're using, but most of the time I tell them you might as well throw that away. It's not doing you any good, and can be even harmful. A lot of them will have pesticides and other contaminants in there. So, and then the other thing is when you buy through Nature Sunshine, especially if you were inspired to from watching these videos, please use my referral links. That's giving me a little bit of benefit for teaching these classes and videos, and then you'll be getting the highest quality supplements I've ever found at member cost. So you get to save some money, and I get to keep putting these videos together. I really like doing them. Okay, so we're going to dive right into this blend now. It highlights elderberry, and there's a lot of other great herbs in this blend as well. So in addition to elderberry, we're going to be talking about echinacea, willow bark, royal jelly, olive leaf, and vitamin D3. So all of these herbs put together are going to be a really great blend for our immune system. They're going to be anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, antiviral. So we're covering a lot of bases here with these herbs. So whatever it is that you're worried about, I know there's a lot of junk going on out there, whether it's cold, flu, or other contagious diseases. This is just going to really help give your body a better chance at fighting these. You can take these on a daily basis during the cold and flu season. Just give yourself that immune boost every single day. And then, of course, if you're coming down with something, then you can take extra. All right. So one great thing about herbs is they work with your body. So when we work against our body, we're actually prolonging what's going on. We're going to prolong our symptoms because generally a symptom is your body's way of telling you something is wrong. It's your body talking to you, and it's not the symptom that's the problem. It's the cause of the symptom that's the problem. So taking a prescription drug generally just stops that symptom, whatever it was, whether, in a case of cold or flu, it was a runny nose, a fever, a headache. Any of those are just symptoms. So taking an herb, it's working with your body and generally can help your body fight that infection faster and get over it. So when we take an antibiotic, we're killing all the bacteria in our system, whether it's good or bad. But herbs are smarter than that. They know because everything in our body has a different frequency. So like the different bacteria in our gut, the bad bacteria is operating on one frequency or polarity, and the good is operating on an entirely different one. So the herbs know exactly where to go, what to target, what to attack. So we need to keep our good bacteria. That's actually where a large part of our immune system resides. So we're trying to keep that and protect it while killing the bad. So talking about elderberries. So not everyone knows that elderberry is not the name of the plant. The plant's name is elder, and we use a lot of different parts of this. So we can use the flower, we can use the leaves, the berries. We can grow the plant for the berries. We do want to make sure that we cook the berries before we use them, because they have a toxic ingredient and that will destroy that. Other names might be called black elder, might be called sambucus. We do here at State and Vital Health have some flu formulas that they're called sambucus, and that's just the Latin name of the plant. So this tree in the Middle Ages was considered a holy tree. You might call it a tree. It's kind of more like a bush. But it was considered a holy tree because of its anti-aging and health benefits. So talking about the berries, some specific benefits of the berries, they're antiviral. They have a decongesting action. So anytime you think whether your sinuses are congested, some chest congestion, this is going to help break up that mucus. So a natural decongestant breaks up the mucus so your body can get rid of it. So it's not just drying it up or suppressing the production of it. So this is helpful. Your body's trying to dilute something and get it out. We want to help that process. So also if we have swollen tissues as well, especially those mucous membranes, you know, everything is swollen in the sinuses, this decongesting action is going to help with that. Studies have shown that taking elderberries can reduce the duration of your flu by half. So, you know, I know some people, they've been down for 7 days, 2 weeks. So just imagine being able to cut that in half and probably not going to have as severe symptoms as well. It's also been shown to have some really good protective action against the swine flu, H1N1. I know there's been a lot of that in the news in previous years. So the elderberries, they have an anti-inflammatory, antiviral, and even anti-cancer properties. So lots of benefits from this one little herb here. They're really good for the digestive system, and so that upset stomach or gas or bloating, these can be really helpful for reducing that. So one little thing that we're going to mention with each of these ingredients is if you have an autoimmune condition, we don't want to actually use herbs that are stimulating to the immune system. And elderberry is one of those. It stimulates and it boosts the immune system. So in an autoimmune condition, it's actually making that kind of a more strong action. So yeah, if that's you, I wouldn't recommend this formula, but there's going to be a couple of things in here that we will talk about tonight that you can use instead. Some elderberries have been used for high cholesterol, HIV. So if you're growing your own elder plant, be sure to cook those berries before you consume them. But one cool thing is the antioxidant factor. So they have a scale. It's called an ORAC scale, and it's the oxygen radical capacity to get rid of them. And elderberries actually score higher than blueberries or cranberries on the ORAC scale. So really great antioxidant properties. These are antioxidants. They protect your body from free radical damage, and that's where unstable molecules come in and they start stealing parts from other molecules, and they're breaking it down and destroying things. So that's actually the aging process. It happens every time that we use oxygen. So just right now, thinking about how many breaths I've taken so far, that's just my body using oxygen. So we want as many antioxidants in our diet and supplement regimen to counteract the effects of that. And the elderberries also contain more vitamin C than oranges. So when you're trying to get those citrus fruits into your diet, consider some elderberries. So next one, we're going to talk about vitamin D3. So this is used by our circulatory system, our immune system, our parathyroid glands, and then our skeletal system, including our teeth. So, you know, who needs vitamin D3? Well, do you get 10 to 15 minutes of sunlight on the majority of your skin without sunscreen every single day? And I'm looking outside at the weather, and it's been raining off and on today, and our average temperature was like 45 degrees. So I definitely was not out in the sun today, and I doubt that if you live in the Willamette Valley that you were either. So we're probably vitamin D deficient. It's really hard in this area of the country to get enough vitamin D. So it can be a really good idea to supplement with it. So our body manufactures this vitamin from the sun through exposure to our skin. But if we're blocking the sun's rays from getting to our skin, then the rays will be filtered. We won't get the benefits. So if we're wearing clothing, if it's through a window, if it's a cloudy day, if there's pollution out, some smog in the air, then we're not going to get that quality vitamin D3. So a lot of people take calcium. We all want strong bones, right? That calcium is really not being properly utilized and absorbed by your body if you don't have enough vitamin D3. So think about that the next time that you're taking a supplement with calcium. You want to make sure that you're supplementing with D3 as well. So D3 is also helpful for our immune system. It has modulating effects on the immune system, so that kind of means that it's moderating it, it's keeping it, not too strong, not too weak. So this is something that can actually be really helpful and beneficial for someone with autoimmune disorders. So vitamin D3, that single one by itself, not this full herbal blend that we're talking about. Definitely just about anyone can take D3. It promotes phagocytosis. That is an anti-tumor activity in the body. So something really helpful, really beneficial for us. And then there's new research on vitamin D3 showing that it does have or may have a protective effect against cancer. So if we don't have enough vitamin D3, if we're deficient, then we're going to be prone to other chronic illnesses. People that are vitamin D3 deficient are also more prone to heart attacks, and there are actually more heart attacks, and cholesterol levels are recorded higher during the winter time, while the occurrence of heart attacks and then when they record your cholesterol levels are often lower during the summertime. So this kind of shows a correlation between being out in the sunshine, making sure that we're getting enough vitamin D3 might have some protective benefits against those two things. I will say correlation is not causation, meaning we don't know 100% that this is what's doing it, but it's definitely something to consider and think about. So it is estimated that about 1 billion, that's billion with a B, people are deficient in vitamin D3. So, and it's been estimated that about 85% of the United States and possibly up to 40% of people worldwide are deficient. So whichever source, because I know a lot of facts and statistics, you're like, isn't 90% of statistics made up? Whichever survey and results that you're looking at on vitamin D3 deficiencies, it's a lot of people. Other things that vitamin D3 can be helpful for, Hashimoto's, depression, dermatitis, bacterial infections, Lyme disease, malaria, MS, osteoporosis, seasonal affective disorder. So it's got a wide range of benefits and actions to our body. So always something good to take, especially this time of year when we're not getting enough. Moving on to echinacea. Now this is one that a lot more people have heard about echinacea and know about it than some of these other herbs. It's anti-inflammatory, anti-allergenic, it's antibacterial, anti-venomous, antiviral, and it's an immune stimulant. So again, not for someone with an autoimmune disorder. So part of the way that echinacea helps our immune system with a cold or a flu is that it actually stimulates the production of white blood cells in our body. And those are the ones that run off and they're attacking the bacteria and viruses in our body that we don't want. So this is going to help your body do that even better. You can actually use this in cases of acute infections, say a bacterial infection that you thought you were going to need to go and get on antibiotics. If you take small doses, about a capsule or two every hour or two, until those symptoms subside, and then you back off, but you'll want to stay on it for a few days after they go away, just in smaller, more normal times, only 2 to 3 times a day once your major symptoms have gone away. You can use that instead. So I encourage you to give that a try. Keep some on hand. Try it at the beginning. If you feel like there's an infection coming on, I definitely would. And you can also use it on external infections. Say you've got a cut that got infected, you can make a little paste. If you have it just in a dried capsule, open it up, mix it with a little water or colloidal silver, and put it on that infection. So echinacea is also very cleansing of the blood. So any skin eruptions and other skin disorders, you think of like eczema, psoriasis, dermatitis, acne, any time that we clean out the blood, we're actually helping our body, because these are all eliminative processes of the body when we have these skin eruptions, toxins trying to come out through our skin. So when we clean that out from the inside out, it doesn't have to push its way to the surface like that. Also good remedy for any lymph. When we get swollen lymph, tonsillitis, strep throat, echinacea is really helpful for moving that lymph, clearing that out. So taking this herb by itself, if we were just going to take it as a single herb, it's something we could take it for 1 or 2 weeks and then take 1 or 2 weeks off. It's not always helpful to just start a supplement regimen and just run with it for the rest of your life. Your body gets used to it. We're always trying to balance the body and correct any imbalances. And your body gets used to it. So that's where a natural health consultant will usually switch up your supplement regimen about every 3 weeks. 3 months. Don't know where the weeks came from. Every 3 months. So just for maintenance, that's about how often you should be checking in with your nutritional consultant, natural health practitioner. So let's talk about willow bark. Did you know that aspirin, which is a synthetic drug, was actually produced after they found, it's called salicin. That's the active ingredient in the white willow bark, and that's what they formulated aspirin off of. So since aspirin is synthetic and not something that grows in a tree, they are able to patent it, and that's why they want you buying aspirin and not white willow bark capsules. So taking just the white willow bark as itself, it's not going to be as strong of a pain reliever and have as many anti-inflammatory actions as aspirin, because we're taking a whole herb. We're not just taking that concentrated ingredient. But it is much safer on your stomach and also your kidneys. I know that aspirin can be really hard on your kidneys. So you can use white willow bark for bringing down fevers and relieving pain. It's been used for thousands of years. People before, this encapsulating herbs is actually relatively new. I think it started 40 or 50 years ago, so it hasn't been around for that long. So before then, people actually chewed on the bark if they had a fever or a cold or a pain. So pain relieving properties, it's going to be good for headaches, migraines, gout, any inflammation that we have, menstrual cramps, rheumatoid arthritis. So anything that's inflammatory caused. You don't want to take large quantities, like handfuls of capsules of this, because the salicin, just like aspirin, as we said, is it's just harmful. It's to the kidneys, so too much of them is going to be bad. And then I don't know, I hadn't heard this before, but it's actually part of a lot of weight loss formulas. So there's an added little benefit. We always, most of us are trying to reduce our weight. So there's another reason to take a little willow bark. Royal jelly. I wonder how many of you have heard of royal jelly. This is a really interesting, you can't really call it an herb. They call it like a natural food product. So it's actually the spit of young nurse bees, and it's called royal jelly because it's one of the foods for the queen bee. So, and the bees can actually only make this royal jelly for just a few days. So, but it's really an incredible substance. It contains all of the B vitamins. So we can't get into everything great that the B vitamins do for us, but there's a lot. It has probiotic, antibiotic, and antibacterial properties. So it's good for our good bacteria, and then it's also bad for the bad bacteria. So this is helpful for our immune system in keeping that good bacteria nice and strong. It's been used before for asthma, liver disease, pancreatitis, insomnia, ulcers, kidney disease, bone fractures, and skin disorders. So again, a wide variety of uses for this royal jelly. And then a couple recent researches being done on it. One is they're investigating its ability to prevent cancer growth. And then the other one, it's being shown to help short-term memory. So they're investigating whether or not it'll be helpful for people with Alzheimer's. And also useful for seasonal allergies. A lot of time taking bee products can help with seasonal allergies. Just a couple more things it's good for. Menopausal women. So it helps reduce the menopause symptoms and provide mood support during that period of time. It's good for our skin as it enhances collagen production, and then also helpful for osteoporosis, wound healing, male infertility, diabetes, and recovering from radiation and chemotherapy. Lots of things this little bee spit does for us. So just remember, royal jelly. Our next herb is olive leaf. So this one does have a wide array of protecting properties for us. It's antibacterial, anti-diabetic, antifungal, and antioxidant. Again, when you hear that word, think anti-aging. It's nearly synonymous. Antiviral, and then its one is stimulating to the immune system. So if you have an autoimmune disorder, please do not take olive leaf. The olive tree has been called the tree of life because just historically with all of its uses. Physicians in Europe have found it to be very effective at lowering fevers. So this is another item in this blend that's helpful for fevers. So it does this not by working against the body to suppress the fever, but by working with the body to reduce the reason for fever. In the 1900s, scientists discovered a phytochemical, which phyto is plant, so these are good plant chemicals, in olive, which inhibits the growth of viruses, bacteria, fungi, and parasites. So we're stopping them from growing, from spreading. So you might find olive leaf in, if it's a really good quality anti-parasitic blend, it may have olive leaf in there. So those who have a weakened immune system, and that doesn't mean autoimmune, just a weakened immune system, and that could be because they have poor dietary habits, a lot of stress in their life. You can take olive leaf. It can be helpful and used on a long-term basis, so it's not harmful long-term, and this will just help reduce the susceptibility to colds and flu. Other great things that this plant does for us, it can help with irregular heartbeats. So, heart's going too fast. It's not always beating right. It's helpful for fighting cancers of the liver, prostate, and breast. Helpful for balancing blood sugar levels, improving psoriasis, and reducing joint aches. So again, we're getting a wide variety of benefits just in this single herb. And then this is a good one to put in your travel bags anytime that you're going out of state and you're worried about parasites or viruses that you haven't been exposed to before. This is a really good one just to take with you traveling, keep your immune system boosted. So that's all of the herbs in this blend that we're going to talk about today. I hope that you found this information useful. If you live within driving distance of Staten, Oregon, and would like to make an appointment with me, you can do so online at mytime.com/where-to-start and the number 2. If you don't put that number 2 on there, you'll get the My Time for the gym. And if you don't live locally, I still have I've recently studied iridology, which is the study of the iris, and every organ in the body is reflected there. So we can actually tell a lot of what's going on in your body and what it needs by looking at your eye. So you can take pictures and work with me long distancely. The information for that is at where-to-start-naturalhealth.com under services. And right now I am just working out the kinks on that online consulting. So it's actually 50% off of the prices that you'll see there on that services page. All right, well, have a great evening, everyone, and I hope that you all stay healthy.